There must be big timer YouTubers live right now. He's a small YouTuber. Forget about him. Plus he works. Yuck. I should get likes because I'm a taxpayer and I help the people that are on welfare. That deserves a like. People that get food stamps and all that. Good afternoon, Sven, or at least good night to you, my friend. Keep rolling. Did you have a good day today? I stopped down there and I changed my fuel filter. I tried to make a video of it. Then my magnet fell off the back of my phone. I was like, I forget about it. I'll do it another day. Busy, but all right. Well, that's all right. Well, hopefully you can get you a good steak, can you? Be able to kick back, kick your feet up, and relax. I'll be able to do that probably about midnight tonight. I'll probably be walking through the back door of my house around midnight. Y'all that drop it in, can you please smack the like button for this hard-working person that's paying taxes, for the people that need that money that they are not able to work? Can I get some like for that? I get a like for having to pay my taxes and help the people that are not able or just refuse, because this helps them pay for their housing. I'm doing my part for my family and the people that need it, and I believe that deserves some likes. I better stay right there. He's hammering down. I guess that don't deserve likes. So my apologies. I thought it deserved a like. So my apologies. I apologize for being wrong. Sincerely. I hope y'all accept my apology. I thought that deserved a like, so I'm sorry it didn't. Can you guess where we are? Anything look familiar out there? Like a bunch of trees, don't it? There's Sven right there, broke down on the road right there. There he is. Poor fella. Bad times, Sven. I'd stop there and help you. Working too, so I figured she might try and tune in and find out. Sorry I didn't get that video on how to change fuel Kenworth W900. And I found out that this truck is not 600 horsepower, it is 606 horsepower. Florida. I'm going to guess that's in Georgia. You would guess correct. We're about to come into the big A, to the ATL. We just got through Macon. So you're going to be able to see Atlanta at some of the most terrible times you could possibly be in Atlanta. So we definitely will not be going downtown for two reasons. For one, they don't like trucks being down there. And two is because it'll take 3 hours to get from one end of the city to the other. So we're going to go around on 285. When we get through Atlanta, then we can get through West Knoxville. We'll be in good shape. Tell me when we get to K-Town. Thank you. When we get to K-Town, probably about 6 o'clock. No, maybe 7. Yeah, probably about 7. So, might not be too bad at 7 o'clock. It might, it depends. Come on, car. Get out of the middle lane. That's a clear sign that people don't know how to drive right there. Clear sign. If you sit in the middle lane, you got somebody right on your ass, and there's no reason for you to not move, you don't know how to drive. That's how you can tell. Yeah, sorry I didn't get the video of changing the fuel filter for anybody that wanted to know how you do it, or you know, somebody that could maybe look it up on YouTube and need to know. But, so I recorded some of it, and then my magnet fell off my phone, and then by the time I look, he's on fire, son. He's a smoking over there, boy. Goodness gracious. And so my magnet fell off, so my phone fell on the concrete. I was like, I forget it, so I stopped the video. And I just put my phone up and changed the fuel filter. Did you already pick up, or are you headed to your loading address? I'm headed home. These loads pay enough to go both ways. So there's no reason to get another load. So I'm deadheading right now. Deadhead means I'm empty. Pam Transport, based out of Indianapolis, sit in the middle lane. Look at it. That's a rookie driver right there, sitting in the middle lane. Pam Transport. No reason to be there. Nobody in the right lane. Pam, you need to do better. I need to go to Pam Transport, teach them drivers how to drive. Please double tap the screen for me. Just go tap, tap. 2 rapid taps. Or don't, just don't. Do not like this live. Please, do not like it. Don't like it at all, I'm telling you. make me really upset if I start seeing that light go up. Hurts my feelings. Thank God they listened. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. They listened to me. They didn't like it. Rookie driver. Now, Gunner, you give the rookie drivers a break. You were a rookie as well at some point. Yeah, I was. And but I was a natural. And also, for a long time, for many years, I drove illegally. And so I had to drive really good so I wouldn't get pulled over. And so I've always drove right. You know, I don't sit in the middle lane. I pass and I get back over. And I do this in my car too, because it's what you're supposed to do. And I guess people feel entitled, and they're like, because they're telling me to do it, I'm not going to do it. It's just driving right. It makes the traffic flow efficient. See, like, there's no reason for me to be in that middle lane right now, so I'm in the right lane. And when I catch this truck up here, I'll jump in the middle lane, pass it, and get back over. I don't understand what's so difficult to drive right. There we go. Zoomed in too far. It's just after 3 o'clock on the East Coast. Hope y'all had a good day. Hope you're still having a wonderful day. Remember, if y'all need got something against somebody at work and you want to tell them something but you can't because you might get fired, you can send me an email at gunnerfam2017@gmail, and I'll call them and tell them how big of a loser and pathetic and sorry they are. And I'll do it live action. I'll be like, you are the sorriest person that has ever walked the face of the earth. You come to work, you smell like pure dog and cat shit, dog shit and cat piss. Nobody likes you, man. You wear the same clothes every day. You need to quit your job because everybody's tired of looking at you, because you make everyone cry when they look at you. So all you gotta do is send me an email and I'll call them up. We'll record the phone call so y'all can hear it. And you can remain anonymous. You can remain anonymous. Or you can let it be known it was you. It's up to you. That's your decision. Hi, Tesh. Hi-dish. Come on, FedEx. What are you doing, FedEx? Get out of the way, FedEx. See, now, I would get a ticket for being in the left lane because I'm doing, just doing the right thing, driving right. I'd get a ticket for it. Because this guy right here does not want to get in the right lane. See what I'm saying? Because he want to drive right, get in the right lane. I would get a ticket for being over here in the left lane. past those vehicles, pretty simple. Look in your mirror, hit your turn signal, merge over. There's no business in that middle lane now. None at all. Hello, and always God drive for you. Hello, Peter Zell 192. Yeah. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. So, Peter, I assume you're the one that hit the like button, so thank you, Peter, for hitting the like button. That thank you was specifically to you, my friend. Even though there's a possibility he was not the one who done that. So it was, comment. Yeah, it's after 9 here. And when I get home, I am going to go straight to bed. You've had one of those days, ain't you, Sven? You're like, I'm going home, I'm going straight to bed, yo. Put my phone on charge, laying down, take a shower in the morning. I'm that tired. I try to take a shower before I go to bed. I don't like to go to bed after I've done, you know, whatever all day. Now, if I've done some physical stuff and I've got real sweaty and dirty, it don't matter if I get home at midnight, I'm going to take a shower. But driving this truck, sometimes I'm very exhausted. I'll go home, go straight to bed, take a shower in the morning. Most of the time, I don't do that, though. Like tonight, I'll go home, take a shower, and go to bed. Even though I'll get home at midnight, I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. Oh boy, we must be getting near McDonough. Time to be in the middle lane. You got to drive strategically. You got to know when to be over here. So we're about to come into McDonough. Yeah, we're in McDonough now. Okay, yeah. So when you get to McDonough, Georgia, you get in the middle or left lane. Hanging in there, man. Hello, you hanging in there? Did you go to the pub? Y'all call it the pub, don't you? Meet me at the pub, mate. What time, mate? 7 o'clock, mate, at the pub. At Irishman's Pub. We call it the bar. And I was in New York City once with a friend. We was walking down some road there in New York City. And we saw, well, it said pub on it. But it said Irish Pub. You know, we was in New York City. We didn't know nothing about New York City. And so we like, well, it had the word Irish in it because we didn't want to walk into somewhere and it'd be like a bunch of Cubans or something, you know. Like, oh, well, wrong place, you know. And so we walked in there, and sure enough, the name was literally what was inside there, just a bunch of Irish folks. So we looked at each other and we're like, all right, we came to the right one. Okay, we can fit in here. And some Irish dude, "You Americans?" He's like, "Yeah." They're like, "Welcome in." I was like, "All right." We told that guy, Chris told him, he's like, "Yeah, we was afraid to walk into any bar." He's like, "You done good coming here." Like, yeah, we thought so because it said Irish. He goes, "That's exactly why it's out there like that." So I was like, okay. I guess there's a race thing up in New York City, like, you know, you got to go, depending on what ethnicity you are, you got to go to that type of place because you just don't fit in. And, you know, if I was Chinese, I can't go to the Irish pub in New York City. They'd say, "Shang Wong, wrong place." Shang Wong and Dong Wong, wrong place. That's when we had to walk up to we got lost or something, and we had to walk up to this guy. He was a white guy, and you know, he looked like an American. And we was like, all right, well, we agreed, like, one of us, we was going to approach this guy and ask him what question we had. And so we agreed. We walked up to this guy, and Chris started talking to him, and he started speaking to us in Russian. And I was like, "Oh shit," you know. And he's like, "Shit," and I was like, "Yeah." Like, I told him, I was like, I didn't think he'd be Russian. He goes, "I didn't either." So the guy didn't speak English, and this has been, shoot, man, this has been 11, 12 years ago. I thought of him, I mean, he looked like a freaking American to me. He's like, "I know." He did to me too. But then we had to remind ourselves, all right, we're in New York City, like, you know, talk to anybody thinking they're an American and they're not. So we ended up talking to this black guy that you know, he was an American, and he's like, hey guys, y'all smoke pot?" And Chris is like, "Hell yeah," you know. And I was like, "Man, there's like 2 cops standing right here, like 15 feet away." And he's like, "Oh hell, don't worry about them." We was in Central Park, and I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, they're not worried about this shit." I was like, "Oh, well, okay." So we just stood there, smoked the joint between the 3 of us with them cops 15 feet away. They didn't say anything to us. And that guy filled us in on New York City. He's like, "Do not." He goes, "You know, this park's big." He's like, "If you go in there, be very careful." And I was like, "Why is that, man?" He's like, "It's very dangerous in this park." He goes, they pull people out of here every day." And I was like, "Shit, okay." He's like, "Okay." So we didn't go into Central Park. We stayed outside of it on the edge, on the sidewalk. And them New Yorkers do some shady stuff, man. There was these 2 black guys, and they had a buggy, and it had some CDs in it that they had made. "Hello, trucker. Hey, love the USA. Hey, thank you. We love you too. Hello and always." Hang in there. "Hello, trucker. Germany. Hey, Germany. We love you too, Germany. Thank you for being here today. Hit that like button if you don't mind." I love when we get Germans in here, and British folks, French. Well, the French speak French, so we don't understand them until they say bonjour. Okay, yeah. Then some Japanese people come in here sometimes and they say banzai. Like, what? Banzai. And occasionally Haji shows up in here. I'm like, Haji, what are you doing here? Why are you in here, Haji? So I'm like, get him out of here. Get Haji out of here. It's a party in the USA. Don't pass away in your sins. Get your free book, ddiys.org. His engine got hot. He was out there with some antifreeze. Man, when I was changing that fuel filter, his truck would come up to me. He's like, hey, man. He's like, you want some antifreeze? I was like, no, man, I'm all right. And then I remember, it's like, okay, yeah, I do need some antifreeze. I was like, yeah, I'll take some antifreeze. He's like, yeah, I'll give it to you. He goes, my company gives it to me. And I was like, yeah, I could use some. Yeah, sure, I'll take a gallon. He's like, okay, you got a jug? I was like, yeah, I got a jug. So we just swapped jugs. I gave him an empty jug for a jug of antifreeze. He was from Minnesota. And then I talked to this Cuban. He pulled up beside me after I got done changing my fuel filter. And he was, you know, admiring his truck. Because I guess he just got it washed or something. And he was wiping it down. He was admiring it. And I was like kind of looking at him. And I was like, man, I asked this guy if he's got a fork. Because I needed a fork. And I asked him for a fork and he goes, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I thought he was going to get me a fork. Every time I asked him for a fork, he'd say, yeah. I'm like, oh, man. And then I noticed his English was off. And I said, hey, man, are you Mexican or Latina or something? He goes, no, I'm Cuban. I was like, oh, okay. And I kept asking him, you got a fork? And then eventually he said something along the lines of like, fork. What? He didn't know what to say. What is a fork? But he's like, what? You know, he's like, what's fork? And I was like, and I took fingers and I was like, you know, you look like a fork, put it in your food and eat. And he goes, no. I was like, damn, man, you just told me all the time you just had a fork. He didn't even know what fork was. Which, you know, it's understandable. I mean, his English was okay. And he was a talkative little dude, man. That boy talks, son, I tell you. I couldn't get away from him. He was just so happy and excited. Like, he was like, I'm in America. I love America. And every time I talk to foreigners, they always want to talk politics. But one thing he did know how to say is, what's wrong with these people? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I guess he thought I would know. I was like, dude, I don't know. You an American? Yeah, I'm an American. What's wrong with these men? I don't know, man. He'd say, I don't know. He's just trying to practice his English. I don't know. Then he showed me something on his phone, and I said, nice. And he goes, nice. Been watching from the brushes. I was running, and then he was pointing at his truck, and he was like doing like some wind, what I was interpreting as like wind going over his truck. And I said aerodynamics, and he just looked at me, goes, just shook his head no, like he wanted to try and say it, but he couldn't say it. And I knew that's what was going on, and he's like, eh. Aerodynamics. And I went, wind, and he goes, yes. That's how it is talking to the foreigners that speak little to no English, because he's talking in sign languages, and I'm using sign language too. And that's with the words and using your hands, you can piece it together if you don't know what they're saying. It works great, it does. But you got to pay close attention. You'll see them looking. He was looking. He was paying close attention. He was listening and watching my hands. Then he would respond. And while he's talking, he'd say some Spanish words and he'd say some English words, and he'd use his hands. Cheers, cheers, man. Hello. I was running. Oh man. I went in to Steak and Shake, and they had some beef tallow they was selling, and so I bought one of them, a big old jug of it there. Wagyu. Where's it at? Put it up. So I figured I'd try it out when I get home, if I think of something to use it with. Going out with chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. Pair of jeans that fit just right. Radio love. Beneath Georgia pine, that's home, Can't hide on main line. 75 degrees down here. Love the USA. I was born in the USA. Myself in a little hometown jam. Alright, so far traffic's not too bad. Well, chat went to sleep. Y'all must have had a hard day today. Y'all must have been working hard, man. You gotta work hard to pay for the people who don't want to work now. You gotta pay for Section 8, food stamps, Medicaid. You guys gotta work hard to pay for that stuff now. Man, I work super duper hard for it. Yeah, I work hard to pay for all that, and work hard to pay for my own family, you know. This guy right here, that guy right here, he doesn't. That guy right there doesn't. He does not help pay for Section 8 food stamps because he is tax exempt because he's a foreigner. He doesn't pay taxes for 7 years. The American dream is for foreigners. That's what they don't tell you. It's not for me because I got to pay taxes forever. But he doesn't. That's why everybody tries so hard to come here. Yeah, I can't blame them. If I was a foreigner, I'd be trying to come here too. There's all kinds of incentive to come here if you're a foreigner. I'd do it too. I can't blame them. But I mean, if I was a foreigner though, I'd try to do it legally though, so that way I could actually start a business, get all that federal grant stuff, and you ain't got to pay for it because you're a foreigner. You know, that's why all the Indians own the gas stations. They come here and they're given opportunity. If you're born here, you've got to earn and find the opportunity. But if you're a foreigner, it's all good. You know, opportunity's given to you. It's handed to you. I wonder if I can leave the country, you know, say 5 years, come back, would I be considered a foreigner then? So then I wouldn't have to pay taxes for 7 years, and I would be like, they give me opportunity to own gas stations or open motels. I wonder. It's something worth looking into. If I could, you know, you could get citizenship, say for Germany, get citizenship there, live there however long you got to, lose your citizenship in the United States, earn your citizenship in Germany, and then be like, okay, well, I want to go through the process to be a United States citizen again. You go through the process, and then would you be considered a foreigner at that point? And then, like, would you have to pay taxes immediately, or would you be tax exempt for 7 years? You know, would you be able to come here and be, like, basically handed opportunity to own a motel or a gas station, and you don't have to pay taxes? That's worth looking into. I wonder if anybody listening can look into that. I'll try to look into it as well. That'd be sweet though. If that's all I had to do, I would have done that years ago. I'm getting a little bit too old to do it now. Come back, leave for 7 years, and come back. I'd be almost 50. You can only be considered a foreigner if you give up your American. Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would have to give it up. You go to Germany, live there forever, however long you have to be a German citizen and lose your American citizenship. And then eventually, you know, and then try to come back to America and go through the process to be an American citizen. And then, you know, do all that stuff I just said. You know, would I then be tax exempt for 7 years? And would the opportunities of owning gas stations or motels be given to me? And what that business creates with income, I don't have to pay taxes on it. If it earns $1 million that year, I don't pay taxes on that $1 million for 7 years. So, you know, that's what I'm asking. Like, can I leave, come back, lose my citizenship, get my citizenship back, and not have to pay taxes for 7 years? Because if you're like 23 years old, I mean, that's what you should probably do then. You know, leave the country, lose your citizenship, go to a country, you know, like, well, go to the United Kingdom because they speak English. I mean, if you can handle their accents. And then, you know, lose your American citizenship. And then, you know, just come back to America, and maybe you'd be considered a foreigner, and although you're, you know, actually still an American, and then you just be tax exempt. I got everybody wondering, like, oh, that's a good question, you know, let's, let me go dig into it, and then I might consider leaving the country, so they all left alive. Highway. Oh man, we must be coming into Atlanta at the right time, man, because it is, look at this. It's 3:38. Watch out for the popo. We can beat the threshold for subscribers and the like button. We're going to turn this channel into a business. I can't get enough people on board to support my dream. to not really like physically support it, but like mentally support it. Maybe if I call out, what's his name? What's that guy's name? He likes to box the famous people. He just boxed Jake Paul. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I just call him out until we get attention on him. And I'll box him, even though he's got weight on me, but that don't matter. We can both sign waivers. But I mean, it might be 10 years before, Called Jake Paul out on my trucking YouTube channel. Get over. Upset some truckers. Now, MrBeast, he doesn't have it in him to box. I mean, he's got the money to really train, and he'd be able to, focus solely on training. I couldn't. I still got to work. Car is unfreaking believable. Now, if you really wanted to make some subscribers call out MrBeast and then try to box him, yes, we could try to box MrBeast, but then, like I said, he's, I don't know what he's worth, but I'm sure I know he's worth a hell of a lot more than me, and he doesn't have to work. So, in that manner, let's say, hypothetically speaking, he accepted a boxing match with me and him. Well, like I said, he's worth probably millions of dollars. He doesn't have to work. So he could take a pause from whatever work he does do. He could pause from that and hire one of the best trainers in the world to train him for the next 6 or 8 months. And, he'd be like a really good boxer in 6 or 8 months, but for that 6 or 8 months, guess what we would be doing for training? We'd be behind the wheel of this truck. So chances are, although I am a fairly good person that can throw hands and throw down, chances are he'd probably get the best of me because he could get the better training. He doesn't have to worry about making ends meet. I do. So it just wouldn't work out really. Now, unless he was like, okay, hey, to make this fair, to make this boxing match fair between the both of us, you know, he would have to like make sure all my ends were met, and you know, get me a good trainer too, and so, you know, have enough where I don't have to worry and I can train for 6 months, you know, and don't have to work, because that's where it would get me. He's like, I gotta work. I can't just like stop working 6 months. Oh, yeah, that's true too. You don't have to win. I mean, look, I mean, you don't have to win. You're still a winner. Like, if you lose a boxing match, you're still a winner. If you don't understand what I'm saying, who was that? Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor did that boxing match. Conor McGregor lost, but he still came out a winner because he made a ton of money. You know, because if I was Conor McGregor, it's like, haha, you lost. Like, did I really? I just earned $100 million freaking dollars, dude. Or he has to get a CDO and drive trucks for 6 months. Right, yeah, he has to stay on the road for 6 months straight. He couldn't do it, you know, he's MrBeast. He'd have to have some type of security with him all the time. He would. You know, for somebody like me, I don't have to, you know. I'm not huge, like, I'm not known like MrBeast, you know. He can walk into a Love's and be like, hey, it's MrBeast, it's MrBeast. Get sideswiped all the time. People can't hold their... It seems like, I mean, some people can, you know, probably like you, Sven, me, that you see somebody famous, it ain't no big deal. It's just another human being. It's just they just play in a movie or something, or successful on YouTube, or got a lot of money. Other than that, there's no difference. And you see MrBeast, like, hey, MrBeast, what's up, man? You know, you can hold your composure. It's people that act crazy, like, oh my God, it's MrBeast. You know, MrBeast, can I get your autograph? MrBeast, can I get a picture took it with you? Like, come on, please, 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 please. You know, it's that shit you got to worry about when you're somebody like MrBeast. Yeah, so if I win, he'd drive a truck for 6 months straight, have a 3-piece security. I mean, hell, I'd just be happy if he's like, hey, I'm going to give this small YouTube truck driver that works his ass off a chance to win $1 million. I'd be like, all right, MrBeast, that's good enough. We ain't got a box, hell. We both get to save our noses from being broken. He'd be like, all you got to do is be in this airplane for 100 days. I'm like, damn, man, why don't we make it 90? 100 seems a little bit much, but just cut 10 off. And I'm like, dude, just make sure you got the food in here, and 90 days worth. Well, I would need more than 90 days worth of beer supply. So I'm like, you're gonna have to have at least double the beer supply. Give me 200 days worth of beer supply, and we'll be just fine right here for 100 days or 90 days. And I got, you know, this is what you want me to do for $1 million? Don't worry, be easy. I'll win that $1 million, MrBeast. But I'm sure, like, you know, there's many people out there like me that's like, you know, hell, sit in an airplane 90 days with enough food and 200 days worth of beer supply, hell, that'd be easy. That's why, like, you know, they I guess they get people that can't do it, or, you know, something, because they have to make them videos interesting. Because if that was a video of me having to be in an airplane for 90 days or 60 days, whatever, with food and 100 days worth of beer supply, all you would see is basically me just living life. Like, oh, he's taking a shower. He's sitting there doing push-ups. He's doing crunches. He's, you know, if he had let me have TV, he's watching TV. You know, he's making a pizza. He's drinking beer like every day. You know, that's all you would see. That's it. Like, he's gonna breeze through this. I'd acknowledge that. Oh yeah, I saw MrBeast, and then I move on. You're right. Yes, Finn. See, that's how I am. It's amazing how some people act over celebrities. It really is. It's like, when I see that stuff, you know, my brain just tries to comprehend. It's like, well, why do they do that? What makes them act like that? Like, you know, Taylor Swift is a god through their eyes. Like, what does that? It's like, you got to be kidding me. Somebody that just says words and makes it sound in the like in a way of a song lyrics with a little bit of noise behind it, and people go crazy. It's like me, you know, talking on here, and like if we just played a little bit of different tunes in the background, and I just changed it up in a way to make it go good, like a song. And that's all I'm doing. That's all they do. That's it. They just talk. Get billions of dollars. It's crazy. Oh my God, it's Shannon Tatum. Oh my God. But see, I think that's why they have security. It's like, not that they're actually scared of the fan, it's that they're so obsessed with them and so in love with them that they have to have security. Not saying that fan will actually hurt them. It's just that they're so like wild about it that they have to have security, because people can't hold themselves. They can't hold their composure. It's amazing, man. That's why I've always studied psychology. I've always been fascinated by human behavior. Leave a little gap between me and Hirschbach here. That's a German company, Hirschbach. Not your typical trucking company, in a really good way. Hirschbach. Drive for HML.com. Yeah. That's probably false advertisement. You'd have to go drive for them to find out. Because I guarantee you it is your typical trucking company. Oh man, somebody's cheating. Can't be cheating. Make sure ain't nobody gonna be cheating. That's why they got that looking like that. It's trying to attract, well, mainly it was trying to attract millennials back in the day, becoming adults, to get the younger people, get the youth to come over and dedicate their life to a company So when they retire, they're given a watch. There comes a plane. You're about to see a plane. Delta. It's Delta Airlines. There he goes. Just say no to mega carriers. Oh no. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit more than just that. There we go. You can see me in the reflection. Ah. Zoom in a little bit, because that's terrible. Whoa. MrBeast, I'm calling you out. I'm just going to make videos about MrBeast. So it'll give me a chance to either box him or give me an opportunity to win $1 million. Man. XLT. XLT haulers, easy haulers. Huh. Everybody left. When first gear and crawl. never think I've seen it like this before. Not your typical trucking company in a really good way, I might go drive for them. Tell you what, when I end this live, I'm gonna call, or I could call them now and then turn it back onto the live, you know. Ask them, how is it not your typical trucking company? Well, eight 721-0860. Drive for HML.com. Guarantee it is your typical trucking company. Guarantee it. Want you on the road all the time. Since it's a mega carrier, they want to underpay you. They don't want you home with your family. They're going to make you sit on the road in a place for an entire day before you get a load. So I guarantee it's your typical trucking company. My gosh, I'm a call. I'm a calling, son. And I'll let you know what they say. Hang on, so it might buff up the live for a moment. See you, Sven. I know you probably already left, man. Well, I called Hirschbach there. Not a bad little gig. They a little funny. She specified what not your typical trucking company is by saying it is the majority of lease purchase operators. Like, okay. But she did clarify that the driver does know what the rate con is, but they don't really get paid by what the rate is. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, she didn't really clarify that too well. Well, that sounds a little shady. That sounds a little shady, lady. If the load pays $4,000, you should make that money. Like besides, like, you know, like they take like 10% to put in their own pocket. And then whoever's authority you're using takes 10%. So you get 80% of that $4,000. And then you get another load, say it pays $3,300. Same thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Say no to those mega carriers, man. Just say no. She's like, I wish I could get you. I said, I know you do, honey. I know you do. She said getting experienced drivers is the most difficult thing they do. I said, I know it is. We've been doing this long enough. We know. We know the game. She said they use a sliding pay scale. She didn't really give me the specifics on it, but what that means is the more miles you drive, the less money you make. And the less miles you drive, the more money you make. I was like, hey, that's just terrible. There's the sun, blinded by the light. I guess that's what Manfred Man meant. Manfred Man. Blinded by the light. Won't be there long when we get up around this curve up here. can't drive for those big carriers, man. It just ain't worth it. Anybody that uses a sliding pay scale, you need to stay away from them. You got a huge gap in front of you. You're driving a Tesla, it'll stop on a dime. Must be driving itself. I don't know if it was driving itself, it wouldn't be riding on that line. Blinded by light.